I fixed the engine today, inshallah.
We're putting an engine in
Yeah.
this. Why? Do you know why?
I don't know.
Racing.
Ah, yeah, racing. Right.
Why they say for it the dark matter, or I don't know. But the color is not black. It's so dark black. Makes sense, yeah. It's good name for it actually. What's your name, Mamo?
Yes, Muhammad Mainuddin.
No, Khaja Muhammad Mainuddin.
Yes, Muhammad
Yeah?
Mainuddin. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Your name?
My name?
Yes.
My name Muhammad.
Yeah, where are you from?
Huh? My from is Syria. My name is?
Yeah.
Full name? My full name?
Yeah.
But my full name is too long.
Try.
Yeah, my name is Muhammad Mahmoud Hamdan Awad Khalil Alwais Salama Al-Dandal Al-Shallal. So after that I have to go to book and check what's the other names. So because I know for this. After that I have to go to book and read it. Oh, this until like Qahtan.
My name is full name Muhammad Sohail Ali Bek.
My name is Muhammad Mainuddin.
This is the car that we ran all the fueling tests on last year, but this year we're going to put it on a return fuel system with the ID controller. Most factory fuel systems are deadhead systems, so when the pump sends the fuel to the fuel tank, it doesn't return, it doesn't come back, right? So the pump uses PWM to send the exact amount of fuel that the engine needs, right? It's a deadhead system, so it doesn't return to the fuel tank. A return fuel system, the fuel has a regulator or after the fuel rail, so it keeps the same amount of pressure inside the fuel rail, and then the excess bleeds back into the fuel tank. The problem with this is the fuel heats up a lot more, so obviously the engine's hot, right? So if you're pumping fuel through a return fuel system, the fuel goes from the fuel tank to the fuel rails, which are obviously hot because the engine's hot. Then it goes to the regulator. The regulator keeps the same amount of fuel pressure inside the fuel rails. A vacuum hose runs to the intake manifold, and it uses that pressure reference to keep the pressure inside the fuel rail the same. So then when you've got the fuel after the fuel pressure regulator, the extra fuel that the engine doesn't need comes back and goes back inside the fuel tank. But that happens like, 1,000 liters per hour. You're moving 1,000 liters per hour of fuel around. That's a lot of fuel getting sloshed around. It heats up, right? It heats up not only because it's moving, but also because the engine's really hot. So it's not uncommon to see the fuel boil. That's why it's not good to use it on a street car, because you don't want your fuel boiling. When the fuel boils, it causes a bunch of other issues like cavitation and fuel pressure crashes as well. So we're going to put this car on a return system because it's a race car. So we can do that with this car, but it's not something we would do on our street car setups. We're going to run it on straight methanol finally. Probably ID 1300s, if not ID 1700s, should make some good power. So this will be our race car. Turbos, cams, clutch, etc. Should make around 1,600 wheel. That's the target for this car. No engine needs to be inside the car. I need to drive home in this car tomorrow.
After tomorrow.
No, tomorrow.
And
We
after
don't work on Saturday anymore. You want to come work on Saturday? I'll give you Red Bulls for tomorrow. I'll give you some Red Bull for tomorrow.
There is no have Red Bull. We're always going to check. We're going to check in the fridge, but we couldn't find any Red Bull. There is only zero sugar Coke, and I don't like it.
we will do it, but just on my issue, bro. Just on my issue.
Yeah, Red Bull, I drink it in the mornings because I get tired, you need the energy for
Bro, I drink only milk, bro. Milk for a strong body. Stop drinking beer or something.
So now dark matter is going back to stock again. We need to characterize 1300 injectors, but on a 765 LT ROM. We characterize them on a 720S ROM, so the 720S software, and they're perfect on the 720s. In traffic, the 1300s, they're not as good as I want them to be. So we're gonna put dark matter back to stock. So stock hardware, stock downpipe, stock exhaust, and it's gonna run 765 ECU software so that we can characterize the injectors, mostly for the idle. Wide open throttle, we're good, but it's the idle and the creep in traffic that's a bit buggy, so I want to work on that because I like my builds to be 100%. So yeah, that's what's going on here. Mohammed, what are you doing now?
Reassemble the engine. We changed the camshaft here, the exhaust side camshaft for both sides. Then what we did now, yeah, as I said, we reassembled the engine. So we will put the injectors in, we'll put the throttle body, the AC compressor, the alternator, the coils, the wiring. We'll put the seal, the crank rear seal, and then yeah, that's all.
Original.
Okay.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Original spark plug. Original everything.
Okay, so that one
Only thing that will
also.
change is injector 1300.
Okay, I understand. I understand.
Everything's stock. Why is this fitting so bad? Where did you guys get this turbo from? Huh? Where did you guys get this turbo from?
It was in that plastic box.
This turbo's bad. You need
Really?
to change this one. You see it? The compressor is damaged.
Yeah.
I'm doing all of this for a reason, you know. You can leave the ISG off. Yeah, you can leave that off. Like as in like you can blank it. And other than that, I need it completely stock. I need a welder.
Welder?
Yeah.
He will take it from here and he will do it.
Okay.
Just explain him.
So he will come here.
Yeah, he will come.
All right, cool. So these are stock McLaren fuel rails. This is what R&D looks like. R&D is ugly. So we're going to modify the stock fuel rails, weld some AN bungs on there so we can have a return fuel system. Once we've mapped out the fuel system and everything's working well, then we'll have these made in billet. So these are going to go here, AN8 and AN8, and the feeders. Like if we're going to do it, we're going to do it properly. We have these fittings, right? And we have, this is a factory fuel hose. Really interesting thing about this fuel hose, it's like corrugated nylon fuel hose, right? So if you heat this up with a hairdryer, it actually molds onto whatever you're trying to push it onto. You see this is like a barbed fitting. We'll obviously put an air clamp over there as well, but this is what the factory uses. So we're gonna have twin E5LM pumps coming into here. It will then go into the fuel filter like this. So the fuel filter will be inside the fuel tank, and then this will feed the top hat. The top hat will go to the fuel rail, and then it will return back to the system like that. We're trying to do it like OEM just in case there seems to be a big market for them, so that we can make repeatable kits. And yeah, I mean, ultimately I don't expect to sell a lot of these, but you never know, you know. The platform is still very up and coming, and we've been at the forefront of development for the last 5 years on this platform. We were the first to 1200 wheel, we were the first to 1300 wheel, first to 1400 wheel, first to 1450 wheel, and I have no doubt in my mind that we're the first to 1500 wheel as well.
Today we have the dark matter. We put all the parts back to stock. So we put the inlet pipe stock. We can see it from here. We put the downpipe stock. MUF sensors are stock. Exhaust is stock, obviously. Air filters. And with the engine, anything power related is stock.
So we're gonna stick a chute on it, Parachutes always get welded to the cross frame or the cross member on the rear subframe. So we'll need to make a custom bracket, drill some holes in the bumper and yeah, stick a chute on it. The goal for this is around 1600 wheel. We need to be a bit careful now because we've reached the limit of clutch. Clutches are going to be our limitation ultimately, but engine and turbo wise, this will go over 1600 easy. On methanol, easy, because we're already making 1500 wheel on ethanol. So on methanol, you make about 5%. Good 75 to 100 wheel, so should make some good power on this.